Shine on like a diamond in the sky. Reach high and let your spirit fly. Together we'll rise, we won't be denied. Shine on, you were born to light up the night.
Welcome back to Bilingual Health and Wealth Academy.
It's great to be back.
Today we're diving deep into Awaken Your Genius. Simple brain training for improved energy and life benefits.
Ooh, that sounds fascinating.
It is. And the author, Dr. Shu Chen Hou, she's quite a fascinating person herself. Scientist, writer, music composer.
Wow.
And the founder of Kokushin-san Ltd.
Really a diverse background.
Like she's a walking example of brain potential. And actually, the book is published by Kokushin-san Ltd. as well.
Very cool.
So for our deep dive today, our mission is to pull out the most valuable and intriguing brain training tips from Awaken Your Genius.
Okay.
The practical stuff that you can actually use like today to boost energy and well-being. Awaken Your Genius.
Love it.
So the book starts by describing the brain as this command center.
Okay.
Which I thought was a great analogy. Like it's mission control for your life.
Yeah, it's responsible for everything you think, feel, and do. And I guess you could say brain training is like taking your brain to the gym.
I like that.
We know exercise is essential for our bodies, right? To stay in shape. Well, brain training does the same for our cognitive muscles.
Yeah, and those muscles need a good workout. What I thought was so interesting is this concept of neuroplasticity.
Right.
Which the book really goes into.
Yeah.
And it means our brains aren't fixed. They're always evolving, changing, adapting throughout our entire lives.
Yeah, it's an amazing concept. So you're not stuck with the brain you were born with, basically.
Yeah.
It's like your brain has the ability to rewire itself to form new connections. Every time you learn something new or have a new experience,
Wow.
your brain creates these new pathways, strengthens existing ones. Like imagine carving new trails in a forest.
I love that visual. So even if you're thinking, oh, I'm too old for this brain training stuff, or my brain's already set in its ways, that's just not true.
Nope. The book really emphasizes it's never too late to learn, to adapt, to improve those abilities.
Amazing.
Yeah, and brain training exercises, what they do is they leverage this power of neuroplasticity. They're designed to kind of push your brain right out of its comfort zone, to create those new connections and pathways.
I mean, I was really surprised to learn, reading this, that brain training is not some new fad.
Really?
The book mentioned, like the ancient Greeks, they were using memory techniques centuries ago.
Oh, that's right. Think about those famous orators,
Right.
memorizing entire speeches. They were using things like the method of loci to remember information by associating it with these vivid mental images.
Fascinating.
So we're really building on that wisdom with modern research.
I love that. So what about today? What does modern brain training look like?
One thing that really stood out to me was the emphasis on curiosity
Yeah,
in the book.
absolutely. Curiosity is like the fuel for brain training. That's what the book argues. Think of it like childlike wonder. You're exploring, asking questions, always wanting to learn new things. The more curious you are, the more you're challenging your brain to grow and adapt. Yeah, it's like rekindling that sense of awe we had as kids, right? When everything was new and fascinating.
Yeah.
And the book, it gives some great examples, like randomly just browsing Wikipedia.
Oh, yeah, I love doing
Or
that.
trying new recipes.
Right.
Just getting out of those mental ruts, those routines.
Right, because when we do that, when we do those new things, our brains, they have to work a little harder, form those neural pathways.
Yeah.
It's like taking your brain on an adventure.
Okay, so one thing that I found really surprising was the connection between physical movement and brain health. I mean, obviously we know exercise is good for our bodies, but the book really highlights how it impacts our brains too.
It's so powerful. When you exercise, you increase the blood flow to your brain. So that blood is carrying all the oxygen and nutrients it needs. So it's like giving your brain a shot of high-octane fuel.
Really?
Yeah. And it doesn't have to be intense workouts either. Even just walking can make a difference.
So you get those physical benefits and you're boosting your brain power at the same time.
Exactly. It's win-win. And you know what else the book talks about?
What's that?
Mindfulness meditation.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah. It's not just about relaxation, although that's a nice bonus.
Right.
It's really about training your attention.
Oh.
You're becoming more aware of your thoughts and feelings, but in the present moment.
Right. So it's not about judging yourself for whatever's going on in your head. It's just about being present with it.
Exactly. Mindfulness encourages you to just observe your thoughts and feelings without that judgment and, quiet that mental chatter.
That can be really hard these days.
Oh, for sure.
Everything's going so fast.
Yeah, it's like clearing the clutter from your mind.
I love that.
Creating a sense of stillness and focus.
Okay, so how much meditation do we need to do to actually get these benefits?
Well, the book suggests that even a few minutes a day can make a big difference.
Okay, that feels doable.
Yeah. Small, consistent steps can lead to amazing results. The book actually offers some tips, practical tips on how to work this mindfulness into your day. Like focusing on your breath or doing a body scan. It's about finding what works best for you and making it a regular practice.
And speaking of consistent practice, one thing the book emphasizes is sleep. We've all heard it before, how important sleep is. But the book explains why it's so crucial for our brains.
Oh, absolutely. It's not just about feeling rested. It's about allowing your brain to consolidate those memories, process information, and recharge for the next day.
Wow.
Think of it as like your brain's overnight cleaning crew, coming in, tidying up, and getting ready for the next day.
Right.
So during sleep, your brain is strengthening those neural connections, consolidating those memories, clearing out toxins. So if you're skimping on sleep, you're denying your brain the chance to do this essential maintenance work. And the book actually highlights the effects of sleep deprivation,
Yeah.
how it can impair how you think, increase stress, and even weaken your immune system.
Not good.
No, not good. It's like a recipe for burnout, mentally and physically. So the book recommends setting a consistent bedtime routine, dimming those lights in the evening, and having a screen-free bedroom. It's all about creating that sanctuary for sleep.
I love that. So your brain can truly unwind and recharge. And I love how the book emphasizes that brain training is not just about, these practices like meditation and sleep. It's also about shaking things up a bit, breaking out of those mental ruts, the ones that can make our brains go on autopilot.
Yes, it's about embracing novelty, seeking out new experiences. When we just do the same routine day after day, our brains can become complacent. But when you introduce something new, you're shaking things up a bit. You're forcing your brain to adapt and form those new connections. Like the book gives an example of taking a different route to work. It may seem like a small change, but it exposes your brain to new stimuli. It has to pay attention and engage in a different way.
So it's like keeping your brain on its toes, right?
Exactly. Embracing that element of surprise.
I like that. Forcing it to adapt and grow. So what about puzzles and games? Are those good for brain training?
Absolutely. Puzzles and games, they're like a mental playground for your brain. They challenge all those different cognitive functions. Problem solving, spatial reasoning, memory, attention. It's like a workout for your brain.
Fun and engaging.
Yes. So the book mentions chess, crosswords, Sudoku, all good options, but there are tons more. Word searches, jigsaw puzzles, even video games.
Really?
Yeah, they can have cognitive benefits. The key is finding those activities that you enjoy and that challenge you just enough.
Right, because if it feels like a chore, you're less likely to stick with it.
Totally. It should be fun and engaging. Now, one area the book really goes deep on is the power of social connections.
Yeah.
We tend to think about brain training as a solo thing.
Yeah.
But social interaction is so important for our cognitive health.
That's interesting. Why are social connections so important for our brains?
Our brains are literally wired for social interaction. So those connections, they provide mental stimulation, they challenge us to see different perspectives, and they reduce loneliness. And loneliness, that can be bad for brain health.
So it's not just about feeling good. It's about keeping our brains sharp.
Exactly. So the book encourages us to nurture those connections, whether it's spending time with loved ones, joining a club, volunteering. It's about creating that supportive, stimulating environment.
And let's not forget laughter. The book really highlights how laughter, it's not just a good feeling, it actually has tangible benefits for our brains.
Laughter truly is the best medicine. It releases endorphins, it reduces stress, improves how you think, and it can even boost your immune system.
That's amazing. It's a good reminder to find those moments of joy and laughter every day.
Absolutely. Good for the soul, good for the brain.
Good for the brain.
Yeah.
So we can't talk about brain health without talking about hydration and nutrition.
Right.
The book emphasizes staying hydrated throughout the day. Why is that so important?
Well, our brains, they're about 80% water. So even a little dehydration, it can really impact how well you think.
Wow.
It's like trying to run a car with an empty tank. We need to make sure we're getting enough fluids to keep our brains running smoothly.
Okay, that makes sense. So what about the best foods for our brains?
The book suggests, a A diet rich in what they call brain-boosting foods. So think about foods packed with nutrients, antioxidants, like fatty fish, leafy greens, berries, even dark chocolate.
Dark chocolate, sign me up.
It's all about balance, of course.
Right.
But dark chocolate, it has antioxidants, and they can help protect brain cells and give your brain a little boost.
I love that. So a little indulgence can be good for your brain. Now, one topic that's maybe a bit heavier but really important to talk about is dementia and Alzheimer's disease.
Yeah.
The book does address this, and a lot of people are worried about these conditions.
Absolutely.
So what does the book say?
Well, brain training is not a cure, but it can be a really valuable tool in keeping your brain healthy and potentially delaying the onset of symptoms.
So it's all about being proactive, keeping our brains engaged, and building up that resilience.
Exactly. The more we challenge our brains, the more resilient they become to those age-related issues and potential cognitive challenges.
That is so empowering. It means we actually have some control over our cognitive health.
You do. It's not all about genetics or fate.
So true. We have the power to really influence our brain health through the choices we make.
Absolutely. And that's what's so amazing about this book. It's about recognizing how powerful and accessible brain training can be, and that small, consistent actions can have a big impact.
It's not about becoming a genius overnight. It's about those daily habits that make a difference over time.
Yeah, and brain training can actually impact your whole life. More energy, better mental clarity, and just an overall sense of well-being.
Exactly. It's about unlocking your full potential.
Wow.
And living a more vibrant and fulfilling life. Now, before we get into specific techniques, I just want to remind everybody, the book goes into so much detail about all of this.
Right.
And even provides specific exercises and techniques.
You can also find tons of resources at kokosungsan.net.
Perfect.
Dr. Hou's website. There's a ton of information on brain training, mindfulness, and just overall well-being.
It's a treasure trove of information.
Yeah.
So I encourage you to check it out and start implementing these tips in your life today. Awaken Your Genius. It's within your reach.
It really is. One thing that really struck me about the book is how it stresses, like, simplicity. It's accessible.
Yeah.
Brain training, it can feel intimidating, but this book makes it doable, no matter who you are, what your experience is.
It's not about those fancy apps or the exercises that only scientists understand.
Right.
It's about those small, everyday changes that can add up over time.
Exactly. Remember we were talking about, like, randomly exploring Wikipedia? Perfect example. You can do that anytime, anywhere. And it's fun. It gets your curiosity going, exposes your brain to new things.
It's a nice alternative to, like, mindlessly scrolling on your phone.
Oh, for sure. Instead of social media, you could be learning something.
Expanding your knowledge.
Yeah. And a key message for me was, it's never too late. Doesn't matter how old you are, your brain can learn, adapt, keep growing.
It's so true. That old saying, you can't teach an old dog new tricks. That's out the window.
Totally. Neuroplasticity, it shows our brains are always evolving.
Doesn't matter if you're 20, 50, or 80.
Yeah. And this book, it's like a roadmap.
Okay.
Your personal guide to brain training. You can tailor it to what you need, what your goals are. It's not one size fits all. It's a framework for how your brain works.
I like that roadmap analogy. And speaking of framework, I found it really helpful how the book explains how our brains actually work.
Yeah, it's like you're seeing under the hood of this amazing machine.
It really makes you appreciate how complex and amazing our brains are. And when you get that, then you can start making choices to help them work better.
Right. Brain training is all about fine-tuning those processes, strengthening those connections, making your mind more adaptable.
And that's where brain training goes beyond just, like, thinking better.
Right.
It's about overall well-being, mental, emotional balance.
Absolutely. The book really stresses stress management, reducing anxiety, and having a positive mindset.
That makes sense.
Chronic stress, it can really damage your brain, affects memory, focus, decision-making. So it's not just the exercises, it's about a lifestyle that supports brain health.
So finding healthy ways to deal with stress.
Yeah, like mindfulness, being in nature, creative things, even just being with people you care about.
The book really emphasized those social connections.
Yeah. And it's not just about not being lonely.
Right.
It's about stimulating your mind, reducing stress, feeling like you belong. All good for the brain.
It's like when you have those conversations, when you share things with others, do things together.
Your brain's working, seeing new viewpoints, those connections get stronger. And don't forget, laughter.
Oh yeah, the book was big on that.
It's not just fun, it's good for you. Endorphins, stress reduction, even boosts creativity.
Like a brain massage. It's easy to get so serious, we need those moments of joy.
They are good for the soul and the brain.
Speaking of things we need, we gotta circle back to sleep.
Oh, so important.
It's easy to skip when we're busy.
I know.
But the book says that's really bad for our brains.
It is. Think of sleep like hitting reset for your brain. It needs time to sort memories, process things, recharge. If we don't get enough,
we're running on empty.
Exactly. And not just feeling tired, Long term, not enough sleep. It messes with memory, focus, even mood. Can make you more likely to have problems later on.
It's crucial. So, good sleep routine, quiet, dark room, all that.
Makes a huge difference. And it's not just how much, it's how well you sleep. That deep, restorative sleep, that's when the brain does its work.
It all makes sense. Another thing that struck me was the idea of mixing up your routine. Sounds simple, but the book says it helps.
It goes back to that novelty thing. When it's the same routine every day, our brains go on autopilot.
Which is fine sometimes.
Yeah, but it can get stale.
We need to shake things up.
Exactly. Do something new, your brain has to adapt. Like, even just taking a different route to work. Small change, but your brain's seeing new things.
It has to pay attention.
Yeah. So, rearrange your furniture, cook a new recipe, listen to different music. It keeps your brain guessing.
I love that. And it's fun. It doesn't have to feel like work.
Exactly. Find things you enjoy that challenge you in a good way. The book has so many different techniques. There's something for everyone.
Puzzles, games, mindfulness, learning new stuff, even just being in nature.
And you can start today. No special equipment or anything. Just start doing it.
Love that. And of course, there's more info at kokoshingsan.net.
Dr. Hou's website. Tons of great brain boosting tips.
So start awakening your genius today. It's totally within your reach.
It is. Now, let's talk about one of the most fascinating things about the brain. Its ability to change and adapt.
Neuroplasticity.
That's it. This is key for brain training. It means our brains aren't fixed. They're always evolving based on what we do, what we experience.
It's a game changer. We used to think our brains were set after a certain age.
Yeah, not anymore.
Like our brains are these dynamic organs, constantly shaped by the world around us.
And brain training gives us tools to consciously influence that.
So when we challenge our brains, learn new things, have new experiences,
those connections fire up and get stronger, like building mental muscle.
The more you use them, the stronger they get. And the more we use those connections, the more ingrained they become. Like well-worn paths.
That's a great way to put it. The more you walk those paths, the clearer they get.
And that's how we build up cognitive reserve. The more we challenge our brains, the better they can handle aging and things like dementia.
It's empowering. We're not just victims of genetics or whatever.
We have some say in our cognitive health. So it's never too late to start making good choices.
Brain training, eating well, sleeping well, managing stress, being social.
These are all investments in your brain's future.
Like a blueprint for brain health. And it's all backed by science,
It gives you confidence that you're doing the right things.
Absolutely. Before we finish this part, I want to touch on the mind-body connection.
Yeah, that was a big part of the book's holistic approach.
Our mental and physical well-being, they're totally connected. What we do with our bodies affects our minds and the other way around.
You can't just focus on puzzles and ignore your physical health.
Exactly. Exercise, food, sleep, stress, it all matters. We need to look at the whole picture.
The brain's part of a bigger system.
The book even talks about things like yoga and Tai Chi.
Oh, interesting.
They combine movement with mindfulness. They help with balance, flexibility, all that. But they also calm the mind and reduce stress.
So we can actually integrate brain training into our whole wellness routine.
Exactly. It's about taking care of all of ourselves.
And that's what Awaken Your Genius is all about, isn't it? Empowering you to take charge of your brain health and live a better life.
That's it. It's a guide to unlocking your potential. You have the power to shape your brain and your future.
I love that.
It's a journey worth taking. It's amazing how the book blends this, ancient wisdom with the modern research.
I know. It's like a tapestry, right?
Yeah.
Of all this knowledge, centuries of people trying to get smarter, improve their brains, it's timeless.
And it shows how this isn't just for, professors or people with memory problems, brain training. It's for everyone.
Absolutely. Students, busy professionals, parents, retirees, anyone who wants to stay sharp.
Yeah, optimize your brain power, make your mind more adaptable. And these days, things change so fast that adaptability is key.
So true. But before we wrap up, the book does say we got to be realistic about expectations.
Right. It's not magic. It's not going to happen overnight. You won't be a chess champion tomorrow.
Exactly. It's gradual. It takes effort, but it should also be enjoyable.
Yeah. Not another chore on your to-do list.
Think of it like a garden. You got to be patient, nurture it, then you get those beautiful flowers. Start small, A few minutes of meditation, a new puzzle each week. Celebrate those little wins.
That's a great way to think about it. And remember, everyone's different. Your journey is going to be unique.
That's a good point. Don't compare yourself. Just focus on your progress.
Celebrate those positive changes you're making.
I love that. As we finish up, I really want our listeners to feel that sense of hope, of possibility. This book showed me just how much potential we all have.
It's inspiring. And it's never too late to start. No matter where you are on your brain training journey, there's always more to learn.
So be curious, challenge yourself, push those limits. Awaken Your Genius, it's in there somewhere.
It is. And for more resources, Dr. Hou's website, kokoshengshen.net, has it all.
Articles, tips, techniques, even courses. A treasure trove. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into brain training.
It's been a pleasure. And to our listener, keep exploring. Your brain is amazing. Take care of it, challenge it, and see what it can do. Until next time, keep learning and keep growing.
Rise up, feel the fire in your chest. Chase dreams, put your doubts to the test. Raise your voice, let your spirit be free. No fear, no limits, just believe. Every stumble, every fall, just a chance to rise. In the darkest night, stars still light up the skies. You're a fighter, you're a force, don't you ever give up. Take a stand, make a mark, show the world your true love. Shine on, like a diamond in the sky. Reach high and let your spirit fly. Together we'll rise, we won't be denied. Shine on, you were born to light up the night. In the depths of the night, when shadows try to dim your glow, remember you're a beacon, a guiding light. The stars echo, hold on to hope. Let it fuel your burning desire. For in every challenge lies the spark of a brighter fire. So when the journey gets tough and the road seems long, just close your eyes, hear the chorus and carry on strong. With each step, with each breath, let your brilliance ignite. For you, my friend, were meant to shine on through the night. Rise up, feel the fire in your chest. Chase dreams, put your doubts to the test. Raise your voice, let your spirit be free. No fear, no limits, just believe. Every stumble, every fall, just a chance to rise. In the darkest night, stars still light up the skies. You're a fighter, you're a force. Don't you ever give up, take a stand. Make a mark, show the world your true love. Shine on, like a diamond in the sky. Reach high, let your spirit fly. Together we'll rise, we won't be denied. Shine on, you were born to light up the night. Rise up, feel the fire in your chest. Chase dreams, put your doubts to the test. Raise your voice, let your spirit be free. No fear, no limits, just believe. Every stumble, every fall, just a chance to rise. In the darkest night, stars still light up the skies. You're a fighter, you're a force. Don't you ever give up, take a stand. Make a mark, show the world your true love. diamond in the sky. Reach high, let your spirit fly. Together we'll rise, we won't be denied. You were born to light up the night. Rise up, feel the fire in your chest. Chase dreams, put your doubts to the test. Raise your voice, let your spirit be free. No fear, no limits, just believe. Every stumble, every fall, just a chance to rise in the darkest night. Stars to light up the skies. You're a fighter, you're a force. Don't you ever give up, take a stand. Make a mark, show the world your true love. Shine on like a diamond in the sky. Reach high, let your spirit fly. Together we'll rise, we won't be denied. You were born to light up the night. Shine on, you were born to light up the night. Shine on, like a spirit fly. Together we'll rise, we won't be denied. Shine on you, you were born to light up the night. In the depths of the night, when shadows try to dim your glow, remember you're a beacon, a guiding light, as stars echo. Hold on to hope, let it fuel your burning desire. For in every challenge lies the spark of a brighter fire. So when the journey gets tough and the road seems long, just close your eyes, hear the chorus and carry on strong. With each step, with each breath, let your brilliance ignite. For you, my friend, were meant to shine on through the night.